It has been a hot minute since I did my last skincare video, 3 years. And a lot has changed in 3 years, and I've been asked incessantly to do an updated version. And the truth is, it's taken me a while to develop my own skincare routine because so much has changed since I filmed the last one. One thing in particular, the main thing, is that I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disorder where you produce antibodies that attack your thyroid because it doesn't recognize your thyroid as a part of your body. It sees it as a foreign invader and tries to kill it. So what ends up happening is you develop hypothyroidism as a result, because since it's constantly under attack, it's slow, it's sluggish, and I've had to start medication and kind of level myself out in order to find that perfect balance. And with Hashimoto's, it is a roller coaster. So getting level is definitely a challenge. So if you remember that last video, you probably noticed I look a little bit different. A little bit smaller here, everywhere else. That is because with Hashimoto's and the fact that my thyroid levels were so out of whack, my weight went up, my skin got bad, my hair got brittle, my skin was really dry. And if you're familiar with having hypothyroidism, if you're hypothyroid, if you have Hashimoto's, you're no stranger to dehydrated skin or dry skin. So oftentimes people think that they have dry skin when in fact it might very well be dehydrated. So the difference between those two are dry skin craves things like fats, it wants oil, and then dehydrated skin wants water. So when you have Hashimoto's or you have hypothyroidism, like myself, I was severely dehydrated. And it wasn't just the fact that I needed water, which you do need to drink more water. That definitely does help. Drink as much water as you can. But it also means that you need to adapt your skincare methods to reintroduce that water into your skin. If you have Hashimoto's, if you have hypothyroidism, if you have dehydrated skin in general, or you have aging skin, this is all going to be beneficial to you because all of these things will benefit those skin types and skin conditions. My routine has a lot of steps, and it might not be reasonable for some people to carry out because there are a lot of steps involved, but there are some things that you can swap out. However, for me, this is what works. This is what I need. And if I don't do this twice a day with little touch-ups in between, I will look like a dehydrated potato in the middle of the desert. I've tested it. I've gone a full day without. It's frightening. First things first, always wear your sunscreen. The one I use is CeraVe Hydrating Sunscreen, SPF 50. And I recommend nothing below 50. 50 is going to be probably your max best that you could possibly do. And this one's lightweight, non-greasy, 3 essential ceramides, and niacinamide. The thing about ceramides, it's basically your skin's first defense. It makes up about 30 to 40% of your barrier. And when your ceramides break down, so too does the very first defense and allowing bacteria and other things in. So anything with ceramides is always a good thing. So if you do nothing at all, at the very least, just wear sunscreen. It's going to protect you from the sun's harmful rays. And even if it's an overcast day, and skin cancer does not discriminate. It doesn't care if you are lightly pigmented or darkly pigmented. It does not care. Skin cancer can happen, and you want to stay protected as much as humanly possible. Even if it's overcast, this makes a good primer, but make sure that when you get a sunscreen for your face, that you're actually getting the one that's designed for the face, because if you get the one for the body, it's going to cause you to break out. Much of the routine that I designed for myself is based on the Korean 10-step method, and I've adapted it and made it my own, and it's not quite 10 steps, but one of the things that was a complete game changer for me is oil cleanse. I do the double cleanse, and I swear by this. I will never ever go back to just straight one-step cleansing. This is Babor High Oil Cleanse. So there are different cleansing oils out there, and I've tried a few of them, but this is the one that works best for me. There's also cleansing balms, but if you're to do the double cleanse method, highly recommend. So what this does is, one, it takes off all of that surface dirt. It's going to take off your sunscreen. It's going to take off your makeup, any oils, anything left behind. It's just going to really cleanse that off before you get to the second step, which is your actual cleanse. What this also does, if you have dry or dehydrated skin, is it's going to deposit an oil into the skin, and it's going to soften and moisturize, because when you get to your cleanse, it's not going to strip your skin or dry it. So this is my second cleanse. This is Neogen Real Fresh Foaming Green Tea. I've been using this for years, and I honestly can't use any other cleanser. This is my favorite, and it is my go-to and will always be my go-to. And I recommend this really for all skin types. I've had people with sensitive skin, dry skin. I've had people with acneic skin. I've recommended it to so many different clients with such a broad spectrum of different types of skin who all swear by it. Next step. This is your Hydrium Watery Toner. Now, the thing with toners, and Korean toners are different than American toners. American toners or Western toners have alcohol in them. Korean toners are more geared toward hydration and moisture. So what you're going to notice when it comes to having dehydrated skin is delivery system. That is going to be your key with treating dehydrated skin, because when you have dry skin, you put cream on it, you put moisturizer on it, and that generally does the trick. It's not going to work with dehydrated skin. And a good tell is that you load it up with creams and oils and serums, and it doesn't seem to do anything. It just, no matter what you do, nothing is working. If you find that those things aren't working for you, you might have dehydrated skin. So that's why I recommend things like your toners and your essences. We'll get to this one in a minute. So the Hydrium Watery Toner, it has hyaluronic acid in it. And this is your first go-to step. And what this does is it prepares your skin for the softening process. So it's going to fix your pH and balance you out. And when you do your cleanse, you're throwing your skin completely out of whack. So what this does is it normalizes your pH, and it also prepares your skin for the next step, which is makes it more ready for hydration. The thing about having dehydrated skin is you need to change the delivery system of your moisturizers and your serums and your creams, because you're still going to need those ingredients to get into your skin, but since you're dehydrated, all you're really doing is just putting it on top of your skin, and it's not really penetrating. It's not going anywhere. So what do we do when we're thirsty? We drink water. Your skin's thirsty. What are you going to do? You give it water. So that's why with dehydrated skin, you're going to notice that most of our products come in a water form. So when you add this to your skin, you're going to want to put it in your hands, press, and just really let it set in. Molecules are finer, and it's going to pull that moisture in through your skin and get all of those ingredients in. Essences always follow your toners, and the one that I use is the Hyaluron Skin Essence by Handskin. This is a 5-in-1, and the thing that essences are, they're basically, I consider them like a moisturizer, but it's a high concentration of very potent ingredients in one shot. This is moisturizing, skin glowing, skin boosting, skin balancing, skin softening. And what I like about this is one of the main ingredients is really the focus is the hyaluronic acid, which is going to be the overall theme of my whole routine is hyaluronic acid. It's basically in everything. It was in this. It's also in this. Here's the box too, because I just bought a new one because I'm almost out. It's really good stuff. Following the theme of hyaluronic acid, we have the Ordinary. This is the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid 2% with B5. And what is really good about this is you have the really hydrating ingredient of B5 as well as hyaluronic acid. Now the thing about hyaluronic acid, and this is something that you're going to find is a key feature here, like I said, is it's water binding. It holds 1,000 times its weight in water, and what it does is it helps prevent something called TEWL or TEWL, that's transepidermal water loss, and it holds water and binds it into the skin, and it also helps with the transport of that water through the skin. So the thing about being dehydrated is we have so much trouble keeping that moisture in our skin, and that's why an ingredient such as hyaluronic acid is so important. Always apply this to at least somewhat damp skin, because this is something that is hydrophilic, which means it pulls water to it. So if you apply this to dry skin, it's going to pull the water right out of your skin. So you want to apply it to damp skin, because when you do, it pulls the water right through. So what I like to do is I used to call it the hyaluronic sandwich. Whenever I was working on anyone's skin, I would dampen it with a bit of water, I would apply the serum, and then I'd immediately massage water through it to kind of help pull it through the skin and also help plump it up, because like I said, it does hold a lot of water and it's water binding. So if you're dehydrated, this is the product to go with. But this also works for aging skin because it does have plumping properties. If you've ever had Juvederm or Restylane or any of those hyaluronic fillers, that's what this is. Hyaluronic acid is naturally occurring in the human body. It's basically in every cell. It's in the tissues of our organs. It's in the fluids in our eyes. It's in our joints. And even when people have osteoarthritis, they'll get hyaluronic acid injected right into the joints. This is something that is naturally found in the human body, so it's quite rare to have any kind of reaction to it, but just to be sure, you always want to give a little test on the wrist. And this is really cheap. It's under $10 at Ulta and anywhere else that carries The Ordinary, but hyaluronic acid is definitely an ingredient you don't want to sleep on. I used to think that water creams were kind of a gimmick. It just seemed like one of those things that were going to come and go, like the disco face mask with all the glitter in it, and it's ridiculous. But no, I used it for the first time and I couldn't believe how hydrating it actually is. It's cooling, it's calming. If you have Hashimoto's, which is associated with inflammation and sometimes itchy skin, this is definitely well received. If you keep it in the fridge, it feels even better. This has corn flour in it, which in itself has anti-inflammatory properties, and of course, we can't forget the hyaluronic acid, which this also has. As you can see, it's kind of a recurring theme. It's interesting, right? Again, I never thought that something with this consistency that kind of looked like hair gel to me would be so hydrating, but it really is. And if you have sensitive skin, I highly recommend Chloron products as well as Aven. I believe Aven is their sister company. So anything by Aven or Chloron, it's really good if you have sensitive skin. So this is definitely something good to have in your routine. After you've used all of those hydrating ingredients, the last thing you want to do is you want to hold everything in. You want to put something occlusive over the top to keep that moisture inside. So what I use is Aven Cyclophate Plus. This has all the things that you need at the end of a routine. It's occlusive, it's thick, and it also is not comedogenic, which is a great combination to have. But make sure you get the one that's Cyclophate Plus and it's not the one for hands, because the one for hands, it has this kind of powdery feel to it. Don't like it. Everyone has that thing, everyone has their texture they don't like. That's mine. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that it's Cyclophate Plus. It's not for the hands, it's the one that is for sensitive, delicate skin. A little bit of this stuff goes a long way. It's used in wound care. It's been used on babies with diaper rash. Another product I incorporate is squalene oil, and I do this about 3 to 4 times a week, where I'll just mix this in with the Aven Cyclophate, or I'll just give myself a face massage with it. Completely non-comedogenic. I love the texture of it, and it feels really nice on the skin. So throughout the day, when my skin gets dry, I will give myself periodically spritzes from this. It is Real Barrier Essence Mist, and I think this is one of Peach and Lily's products, but it's really hydrating and it helps promote a healthy skin barrier. So you just kind of want to do, it's hydrating and it just feels nice throughout the day when your skin gets a little bit dry, parched. If you happen to work anywhere where it's forced air and that heating just kind of sucks the moisture out of your skin, you want to keep one of these on you, keep it in your bag, keep it in your glove compartment, and just spritz your face every now and again, and it'll help rehydrate your skin and also help really strengthen your barrier, which is very, very important. There are 2 types of exfoliation. You have chemical and you have mechanical. I like to do both, and I'll alternate in between. So depending on your skin type, I would recommend exfoliating probably, I would say, about twice a week. One of the first ones that I use is The Ordinary Lactic Acid 10%. I use this probably once a week, every other week. And what you want to do is you don't want to do any more than, I would say, 4 drops into your hands, and then you want to press into your skin. And that's it. It's really easy. This is Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta Peel Pads, and these are in extra strength. I spent many a year looking for these in a cheaper alternative, something equivalent to, but nothing quite matches this, so it stays. This box was $88, and you get 30 in here, which will last you a decent amount of time if you only use 1 to 2 a week, which I do. So it's a 2-step system. You have your step 1, your step 2. Step 1, exfoliate and smooth. Step 2, anti-aging and neutralizer. So your step 1, you're going to apply to your face, neck, décolleté, and you're going to allow that to set for about 2 minutes. Next, you're going to do your neutralizer. So the neutralizer, the anti-aging portion is retinol, which Both of them work really well on photo aging, your hyperpigmentation, your fine lines. It is an amazing product, and your skin's just so glowing and smooth. I love the way it looks afterward. But always wear your sunscreen, especially if you're on the fence about sunscreen and you want to use this. Please wear your sunscreen, because the ingredients in this is going to make you incredibly photosensitive, which means the sun will mess you up. If you're interested in trying these but you don't want to do the $88 investment, go on Sephora.com, or you can go into the store, and they have smaller boxes of these where you have 5 of them in one box, and it costs $15. And if you're only using one a week, it's going to last you a while. So I recommend checking them out first and before making the big investment. The final exfoliation that I use is mechanical. So these I have to wash these. It has a bit of soap on it, but these are mitts. These are exfoliating mitts, and I want you to be able to see the texture. So this is another K-Beauty find, and I finally found them in mitts. I had them in these little squares, but this is even better. The exfoliation that you can do to your body with these is absolutely amazing. Do not apply the same amount of pressure to your face that you apply to your body. I promise you, you will not have a face left. These are very abrasive. So when you're doing your mechanical exfoliation with these, very light pressure, as light as you possibly can. What I like to do is when I do my oil cleanse, I'll use it with these because it'll make it even that much gentler. But if you want a good mechanical exfoliation, these. And I'm going to put the link to everything in the description. And when I do, and you look at the mitt, look at the pictures that people have posted of what they've gotten off their body with the mitt, because I will attest to the fact, personally, having done my legs, your skin comes off, but not in a bad way. That's why I say, please be gentle when applying pressure to your skin. In addition to that, I use I think it's an imitation silk, but it's a silk pillowcase specifically designed for skincare. And the reason is, you don't want to go through all of these steps, go through all of this process, put all of this stuff on your face just to go to bed and have your pillowcase absorb it all. So you want that to stay in your skin. So that's what the silk pillowcase is for. In addition, it also helps not break your hair. And that was a problem that I was really having. My hair just kept breaking because it's so long. I would put it up in a braid, but I would find bits broken off. So things like plain cotton pillowcases can be a little bit abrasive and also absorbent. So it pulls your skincare out, and it also breaks your hair. So I find that using a silk pillowcase is very helpful. I'm going to put a link to the description there, and it was a really affordable one. I got it off Amazon. So it seemed to have pretty good reviews. So there it is. That is my updated skincare routine for 2022. And skincare routines do change seasonally, because as the seasons change, so too does your skincare needs. And I don't know if I'm going to be doing updates then, but I think that we'll play it by ear when it comes to that. But if you have any questions about anything, I'm going to make sure that I leave all of the links to the products in the description. Just make sure with everything, read the reviews. People are very honest in reviews, so if you're curious about your particular skin type, go check the reviews and see if there's anybody that has any of the concerns that you have and have used the product. It's always a good rule of thumb to make sure that you read the reviews when it comes to things. Always want to do things as educated as possible, especially when we're putting it on our faces. So I would love to hear your comments. If you have used any of these products before, I'd love to know what you think. And if you have any skincare recommendations for dehydrated skin, I'm all ears when it comes to that. So until next time, thanks for watching.